Don't underestimate me. Do not underestimate me. This is a unannounced live stream. There will be no call-ins because I'm not at a area where I can do the call-ins. I'm gonna wait for people to get in the live stream. This is left side of the brain. How many people we got in the house? What up, Jaguar Media? What up, what's Blazing Sports? Hey, I saw you the other night. That fight between Tyson Fury almost got his ass beat. Everybody get into the room. I didn't announce this live stream, but still get in the room. Don't y'all underestimate me. Yeah, I know Jaguar Media, and I appreciate that, man. Y'all go over there and support Jaguar Media. He's one of the subscribers one of the few who actually did what I said. I was like, start some Jaguar affiliated channels. So we like to give a shout out to Jaguar Media. With the other Jaguars, please get in the room. I know you see it. I know you see it in your notifications. There's no excuse. We got 9 people in here right now. All right. I'm going to get at least 10 people before I start. At least 10 people. Because I didn't announce this. Well, anyway, what the hell? I'm the 10th person. 9 plus me, that's 10. So let's get started. Let me roll these windows down. And let's talk business. All right. Now, I've been noticing some things, right? Some things been heavy on my mind, right? And what I want to talk about tonight, the title of the video or the live stream is Life Ain't Shit But More Shit. How many of y'all can attest to that? Put ones in the comment section if you can attest to that. Life ain't shit but more shit. All right? And the Spirit gave me something today while I was at Popeye's Chicken enjoying some fried shrimp and chicken strips. The Spirit gave me something. And you know what the Spirit told me? You know where spiritual loneliness come from? Now on this channel, we have something called the law of exceedings. How many of you are familiar with the law of exceedings? Well, basically, the law of exceedings states that basically any spiritual information can be validated within nature, meaning you will see a correlation of every spiritual truth in nature around you. In the Bible, it's called a parable. It's called a parable. And when Jesus spoke, he oftentimes used parables. Okay? Now, the Spirit gave me a parable today while I was in Popeye's Chicken. And this is what we call the law of exceedings. So no one can say that the things on this channel is theory or just philosophy, because it's not. Everything that I say, you can see it within the nature around you. Now, since I got that out the way, let me tell you the origin of spiritual loneliness. Now, as I was driving to that Popeyes, right? I had to pass by the bus stop. So it was these two young females, happened to be black, and they both looked at me and we made eye contact. But within this exchange of the eye contact, I knew that it was nothing inside of these females. Okay? So it started to dawn upon me that these people are like an empty room. Okay? Now I'm about to tie all of this together. We speak about on this channel what we call HPBs. HPB is an acronym for a human prison bar. And we call this world that we live in the human prison bar system. Okay? Now, when I looked at them females, I saw emptiness. Now, again, the empty people in this world are the HPBs, the human prison bars themselves. Now I'm going to equate these empty people to being inside an empty prison cell. That's the origin of your spiritual loneliness, because the people around you, they are the empty prison cells that makes up this HPB world that we live in. They are empty. You get what I'm saying? They are just the floor, the ceiling, and the four walls that encloses you in this human prison bar world, right? But there's more to it. While I went into, when I passed them and went into the Popeyes, right? The spirit told me, it said, your body is designed to only desire things when it has an emptiness. So when you're hungry, you desire food. When you're thirsty, you desire something to drink, right? Now, this origin of spiritual loneliness, it revolves around that same principle as to why you desire things, why you desire other people, the same reason why you desire food, the same reason why you desire something to drink when you're thirsty, because the body only notifies your system when you are empty of something. So again, if you need food, your body will make you feel hungry. If you're thirsty, your mouth will feel dry. But only when you are empty, and only when you are dehydrated will your body alert you that you are empty. So I thought about that, and I said, therefore, using the law of exceedings, spiritual loneliness comes from people being empty with spiritual knowledge and information. Therefore, something is making them desire to fill up that emptiness. You see? Because they have not found what their purpose is. Many people are lost in this world because they don't know what their purpose is. They think purpose is in career, a wife, having kids. None of that is purpose. All of that is simply catering to the revolution of monotonous, pointless lifestyle that comprises this human prison bar system. You see? So none of that means anything, right? So somebody Somebody is texting me while I'm trying to do my live stream, and that's kind of throwing me off right now. Now they want to start texting. Now, none of that stuff means anything. And the spirit told me, it said these people who are spiritually lonely, it's because they haven't found the truth. When you find the truth of life, you will never be lonely. You will always be filled up. Your reservoir will always be complete. You will never feel dehydrated. I'm talking about spiritually. You will never feel hungry spiritually. Nothing will alert you that I need to be around these people to feel like I'm important or I have a purpose in life. See, my only purpose is the things that I discuss on this channel. So when I was looking at them females at the bus stop, like I was telling you, when we had made eye contact, I realized that they are the representation of an empty cell. Empty. But you won't understand that if you have never woken up yourself. You won't understand that. But only those who have been through spiritual loneliness, and trust me, I've been through it before. But now I'm at the point where I realize that the origin of spiritual loneliness is when you haven't found the complete reality of the things that we speak of on this channel. Because when I was looking at those two girls at the bus stop, I was saying to myself, it has to hurt being them. Like, they don't know anything about what makes this world go around. They don't understand things like, you know, what we discuss on this channel. Like these type of questionnaires and things, it never even passes through their mind. So when you are in life and having to deal with these people, whether that be your job, whether that be just going to the grocery store, you are around them. And the reason why you feel isolated is because, like I said, they are empty, just like an empty prison cell. So when you are around them, you are basically inside of an empty prison cell. And that's the whole concept of the human prison bar realm. You're surrounded by human prison bars. They are empty. Therefore, they make you feel like you in an isolated room by yourself, just like the empty prison cell. Do y'all get what I'm saying? I'm connecting the dots here. They empty just like an empty prison cell. It's more of them than us in this world. Okay? So that's where that feeling of isolation comes from. Trust me, I've been through it. I've been through it, man. I go through it every day. And the only thing that keeps me afloat is by always talking to myself and encouraging myself the things that I'm saying right now. It's almost like I'm looking at the release date. It's almost like being locked up in a prison, and you know how they mark the days, 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines, and then they'll draw a line through the 4 lines, and that represents 5 days. And then they counting the weeks. They not really in prison. They really focusing on the day, the release date. That's what I do to keep myself afloat in this world. Because you have to, like somebody said, like Joey said, waiting for the end. That's right. You have to just be looking out of the prison saying, a day is coming. The day is soon to come. Because eventually, our day will come. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, I was also thinking, right? Like today, I had to go to this this homeless shelter volunteer cookout thing, because I work with clients, right, who are like mentally handicapped or whatever. So his mother wanted him to go to the cookout. I really didn't want to go, but it's a part of my job. So I took the kid, and when I was at the cookout, I isolated myself. I isolated myself. I went to I went to a table by myself, and see, I've learned how to play mind games. And what I mean by that is I've learned how to diffuse a situation. So in order to keep myself from having to communicate with these people, what I did is I took my cell phone out and I just started looking at YouTube. I didn't want to look like I was lonely, so I was beating on the table like I was listening to music or something. What I was doing, and every now and then I would look up and see what the other people was doing, because I was just trying to blend in. I was like, okay, I don't want to look too far off, and then I don't want to look too in. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play the middle ground. I'm not gonna talk to nobody, because I instantly knew that when I was in the environment, that that setting was not for me. None of those people understood the type of things I think about, and therefore me and those people, it's impossible for us to mix. Because my new thing is unrealistic and realistic, it does not mix. You can't mix oil and water. So in other words, unrealistic and realistic does not mix. You cannot be friends with unrealistic people. People who don't have the real eyes to see and understand, it's nothing to say to them. Absolutely nothing. Like women, for instance. I'm the type of person, I'm like this. When it comes to females, I don't have nothing to say to a woman in the public unless it's pertaining to something sexual. Because any other time she's in my face and it's not about that, then that's wasting time. I'm wasting her time and she wasting my time. We have nothing to discuss or anything, especially when I know that she is an HPB type of female. That really makes it a waste of time to be engaging with that type of female. What do we have to speak about? Exactly. So keep it moving, and I'll keep it moving. And then it's a lot of people who, and I'm kind of skipping around, but it's a lot of people who are under this notion that life has a purpose because they having a presidential election. This is what's getting a lot of people tricked and deceived. When you see things about politics in the news and the presidential election, and you hear politicians talking about they care about people and all of that stuff, don't nobody care about nobody in this world. All of that stuff you see, I figured it out. The only reason why you got presidential elections, the only reason you got presidents and politicians running to be elected, it's not because they love people and they want to change the world. It's because the world itself, the economy itself, is benefiting the people in power. They making money off of it. They have a self-invested interest in all of this stuff. So you better believe the day that they no longer have an interest in this world, they would just leave and wouldn't even give a fuck. This whole system would collapse. Let's just say if they, and this may sound like far out, let's just say if they found a way to live on Mars and they could take some slaves from Earth and transport them to Mars and build a colony on Mars and whatever, you think they still gonna be running for presidential elections and stuff here on Earth? No, they would leave y'all asses behind and say to hell with y'all. They only doing that stuff now because they have a self-invested interest in it. All of this stuff that takes place in this world is pointing to 1% of people who run this world. They don't care about you. They just billionaires making money, and you the slave, keeping a system going. You the one that's giving them a purpose. You making them feel special. Oh, I'm a leader. And look at all the fools that I lead over. I'm the president. That's why they keep this thing going. It's for ego purposes. It's for egotistical purposes only while we live in the first place. I've said it before. Your ego is your drive. They driven by their ego. They not driven about freedom of speech, freedom of this, freedom of that. That's not what makes them tick and operate. They don't care about you. Just like when I was at that cookout I was telling you about. None of them people in there cared about me. And to be quite honest, I didn't care about them. Because we didn't have nothing in common in the mind. How can you care about a person that you don't have anything in common with? You see? So that should be the answer to why the leaders of this world don't care about you. They don't have nothing in common with a commoner. You get it? A common peasant type of person. They have nothing in common with you. They don't live in the same neighborhoods with you. Their children don't go to the same schools with you. They don't fly the same airplanes as you. They don't live in the same neighborhoods. They don't go to the same universities. They don't live the life you live. So why would they care about you? And that's just looking at it from an economic standpoint. Now let's look at it at a spiritual standpoint. These people out here in this world who don't get the truth of the things we speak about, it's impossible for them to care about you. That's first and foremost, because you see life differently. They see life one way, you see life the other way. So how can they care about you? Y'all see what I'm saying? Now, it's 1% who run the world. But when it comes to the human prison bar system, they make up about 99% of everybody that exists. About 99% of everybody who exists on this planet is soulless. They soulless. Because they empty prison cells. They represent an empty prison cell, like I was saying earlier. And it's nothing inside of them. And their only purpose is to make you be like, damn, why I feel like this? Why is it like this? Why? Nah, Joey, I wouldn't say, I mean, that's your preference to say that. I mean, I understand it's all in good. I see you in the right spirit, but I wouldn't say 80%. Maybe 99 was too much. I would say, I don't know, Joey. I would say somewhere around 95%. That 80, giving them 20% out of 7.5 billion, that's a lot, man. Somewhere about 90% is too high, I think. What percentage do y'all think? I just want to hear what y'all got to say. Out of this world, you got to look at the percentage of, they say it's about 7.5 billion people on this planet. Even if you said 10% was okay, that would be a lot. That's still a lot. That's why, yeah, Kronos, I'm sticking to what I said. About 99%. Yeah, they everywhere. Like Kronos saying, yeah. Yeah, like and Joey said, that's too true too. Like 1 out of 100. So that would put us like about 99%. So let's just stick, yeah. Because if you put 100 people in a room, probably out of 100, that's something to think about. If it was 100 rooms, and you fill every room with 100 people, what's that? 100? What's that, like 100,000? Man, I'm starting to think now. Really, how many people would really be on this stuff like I'm saying right now if you had 100 rooms filled up with 100 people? Out of every one of those rooms, I would probably say, damn, some of them, it wouldn't be no people. I'm gonna just be honest. Some of them people in those rooms, the whole room would be 100% HPB. Because y'all got to realize, we going into the year 2020. We're going into the year 2020, and we getting further and further away from the center of truth, man. Every generation is getting more and more watered down. So looking at it from that perspective, man, we are a living, dying breed. And why I say living, dying, because we are alive. We the only true definition of life. People who understand this knowledge. But at the same time, we dying out. Because me personally, I don't plan on having no children. I don't see myself ever having kids. Because with all of this information I know, for me to have children would be like throwing away everything I know. Like, why would I reinvent myself in the form of my kid in this world after I have gained the knowledge about everything? That would be pointless. So don't let them fool you, man, and have you thinking that this world is this pleasantry place where everybody is trying to get along and make it for the better. No, they not. Because the way this world is set up, it's designed to forever have people crippled. And what I mean by that is, you see, number one, money is in place to prevent people from ever learning how to live without money. So that's a cripple. That's a crutch. Because really, if you put 100 of us together, 100 like-minded people together, there would be no need for money, because we would know how to share and to borrow and return based upon trust. We wouldn't need no money. See, you need money when you're dealing with a whole bunch of dark-hearted motherfuckers who you can't trust. So you got to create a system that gives a person a reason to come to work, which is, I pay them to do this, I pay them to do this job, I pay them to do this. Because in a system like this, where you got all these dark-hearted people, word of mouth don't mean anything. Trust don't mean anything. So they create weapons, money, weapons. Like I said, violence and manipulation. Everything in this world is about violence and manipulation. Military and money. Ego, violence and manipulation. Competition, violence and manipulation. And see, if you don't got this truth that I'm saying, like the title of the live stream, life will just continue to be more shit on top of more shit. You will just continue to live in a cycle, getting up, going to work, but no truth. No truth whatsoever. That would be the epitome of your life. Absolutely no truth. Who want to live like that? You see what I'm saying? It's like, and it's another thing too. Life would be fun if not for females. Why do I say that? I know you're probably saying, he's attacking women all the time. No, I'm not. I'm telling you a truth. You see, as a man, when you growing up, right? See, as a child in general, whether male or female, as a child, the only thing you have in mind is maintaining fun. As a child, the only thing you're thinking about is maintaining fun. You're not thinking about bills. You're not thinking about purpose in life. The only purpose you have every day you wake up is get up out the bed and I want to watch Saturday morning cartoons. Because in your mind, your only purpose is food and maintaining fun. You don't like to be bored as a child. A child is always moving around because it's just trying to maintain fun. Okay? Now, when males and females grow up, it becomes a point where the maintaining fun turns into seriousness. And what I mean by that is this: that female is the first one who branches off into the seriousness of life, because sex is a fun thing. It feels good. It's recreational. Okay? The man, he can't get pregnant, but the female can get pregnant. So because of that, it's no longer just a recreation of fun. It becomes something serious because she can end up getting pregnant. So the fun goes out of the window when you throw the female in the equation. When you throw sex in the equation, that's when you throw adulthood in the equation. So adulthood comes from sex, because from sex, that's when you get those adult responsibilities. You got to take care of your children. You got to take them to school. You got to go to the parents teachers meeting. You got to take care of this woman. You got to take care of the child. That's why the female is used so much by the HPB realm, because she is the gateway. Through her vagina, through her portal, you become a part of this world. The female mind is serious by nature. She don't see the world as this fun place like us men do. The females see this world as a place where it's about survival of the fittest. A lot of y'all men don't understand, but that female, she has a more animal-like view of the world. Because she gets pregnant, because she is the nurturer of children and she breastfeeds, she has a different view of this world than you. A lot of men don't understand this today in their mid-30s. Females catch on to this stuff fast. They don't have to be taught that this is a human prison bar realm. They born already understanding this. Once she starts budding breast and getting a period, she already knows it's about having children and finding a man to take care and support her and the kids. This is why the female toys are patterned after like the Ken doll and the Barbie doll, and it's catered around money, cars. The Ken doll is dressed up in a certain kind of way. He got all of the latest fashion on. The Barbie doll, she has this mansion model home with the toy Mercedes Benz. You see, as a child, females are developing this stuff ahead of time. You see? And what I'm trying to say is, a point comes in his life where it's do or die. And you don't understand that really unless you have been homeless before. How many of you have ever been homeless? Well, I can give you a testimony. It was a time in my life where I didn't have a place to stay. I was in between moving from city to city. And during those moments, I realized that literally it's all about money. Because if you have ever been without a place to stay, every building that you look at, the walls of that building, it feels like they laughing at you. Every store you walk into, every place that you pass, every neighborhood, you can just tell that nobody cares about you when you don't have money and you living outside. Everybody that drives by you, they don't look at you. They tires splash water on you when you walking down the street. They don't care, man. You realize at that point that it's all about money, man. It's no love in this thing. You see what I'm saying? And those who know about hitting rock bottom, you understand what I'm saying. Like, but one thing about that female, this world ain't, if a female hits rock bottom, 9 times out of 10, she got on drugs. But normally, it's going to be more homeless men than females because this world is more hard and harsh against men, especially men of the Jaguar caliber, especially men who exercise what we speaking about right now. Look, y'all, I'm at the laundromat, right? So I'm gonna go in here and put my clothes in the dryer. So y'all gonna follow me, all right? I'm about to go in here and put my clothes in the dryer. I didn't even want to come to this laundromat today, but I had to. Y'all do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that likes button. Hit the subscribe button. This left side of the brain. See, I live a regular life, man. I have to duck and dodge these people all. Y'all give me a second. I got to throw my clothes in the dryer. Give me 1 second. Let me get this stuff. Make sure I got everything out of here. Yo, we gonna get into all of that. Just give me 1 second. For those who don't know, this is LSOTB, left side of the brain. It's at the laundromat. I actually like going to the laundromat. Hold on. What's... Okay. Back and running. Let's get back into it. All right. LSOTB. What up, man? Chilling. All right. Yeah, I had to do that, man. And when you wake up, man, you can feel like you just surrounded, like me just walking in that laundromat, man. You just in there with zombies, man. It's like, oh man, no wonder these people are easy to be led, man. And again, these people are not lost, man. It's no such thing as a lost soul. Lost souls do not exist. And I did a video about that. Y'all need to go watch that video, man. They not lost, man. Ain't no such thing as no lost soul. They exactly what we say. They are HPBs, man. No, I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs. Know what I'm saying? And this is another thing, man. The HPB realm is empowered mainly by ignorance. Ignorance is the source of this whole entire world around you. That sounds funny, right? But that's true. Ignorance allows them to do everything that they do. The 6 laws that govern the human prison bar system that I'm writing a book about. And out of all 6 of those laws, the law of ignorance is the most prevalent one. Because everything is governed by violence and manipulation. And whoever has the most means of implementing violence and has the better way to manipulate the next person to get what they need out of that person, that group of people will rule the world. So if somebody was to ask me, left side of the brain, how do you rule the world? You know what I would tell you? 2 things. You have to out-violent the next man, and you have to be able to out-manipulate the next man. Those 2 things, and you shall rule the world. Whoever implements the most violence and the most manipulation, you run the world. So whatever nation is in authority right now, like the United States, you know why they rule? Because America is able to out-manipulate everybody. And they have more ways to implement violence upon other people. That's why they so hell-bent on not allowing other nations to get nuclear weapons. Because they understand that violence is the only thing that people really listen to. It's not nothing about, nobody in this world is peaceful and lovable and all of that type of stuff. Fear is what makes people seem like there is a bit of civilized nature in humanity. That's because they created a police department, security guards. The fact they have all of that stuff should let you know that the natural nature of people is chaotic and criminal nature. The fact that they have a police department, the fact that they have all these different security agencies, the fact that they have a CIA to protect the president. Any situation where you have an abundance of security guards and military personnel, that lets you know that you're dealing in a dangerous environment, and the nature of that environment is dangerous. In fact, we may as well say that animals in nature, everything in this world is violent, man. We may as well say that. You got animals that have like sharp claws, bees with stingers, spiders with poison. That's letting you know that we live in a hell environment, because in a peaceful place, there is no need for swords, guns, stingers, claws, sharp teeth. In a peaceful environment, there is no need for anything that's sharp. There is no need for anything that can stick a hole in something. There is no need for no razor or anything that can cut or shoot or anything. The reason why that those things exist, because it's letting you know where we live. We live in that type of world. We live under military occupation 24/7. You get what I'm saying? We live in military operation, under military occupation 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. Cut my charger back on because I'm in my car. Because I want y'all to think about something. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? I want you to think about something. Um, Forgot my train of thought, man. I got cranking up the car and kind of lost what I was about to say. Um, what was I saying? I was talking about, yeah. We live under like military occupation, man, 24/7, and nature shows us that. You know what I'm saying? We got something I was about to say that would have drove this home. It was something deep I was about to say. Man, it'll come back. It'll come back to me. But anyway, I bet it's gonna come back when I rewatch this. It'll come back to me. Right. That's what I'm saying. Nothing peaceful about animals killing other animals. Super Ninja, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like all of this stuff, man. It shows us. Only thing you got to do is look into nature, man. Okay, now thank you, Spirit. It came back to my mind. See, we take for granted that we are not under military occupation when actually we are under military occupation all the time. As we speak right now, it was just something in the news. How many of you all been keeping up with the news? In the Middle East, they saying that Yemen, it's a country in the Middle East named Yemen, and they have bombed an oil field in Saudi Arabia. And they saying because of that, that may have a negative impact on the oil prices in America. They may have to jack the oil prices up because of that incident that took place about 2 days ago. So what I'm saying is, we didn't know about that. When that oil field was bombed, we was probably in the bed sleep. You get what I'm saying? They sent a drone out. This is what their stories say. I mean, you can never believe everything they say, but according to their narrative, some drones were sent out and they bombed the Saudi Arabian oil fields. But this took place while we were sleeping. You get what I'm saying? It's like things be going on all the time that we're not even aware of. But there are people right now manning satellites, sitting at a desk in front of a radar screen, making sure that enemy planes are not about to fly over here and attack the United States. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, we are constantly at a wartime situation. There is no such thing as peace in this world. Militaries are always practicing for war. We are always on the verge of military conflict in this world, 24/7. There's no such thing as peace, man. Ask a gazelle out in Africa, is there such thing as peace? Them gazelles, when you see them, they be bending down, lapping that water up, and then they hear a noise, and you see how alert they look in their eyes? They always looking around. Animals in nature, they know it's no such thing as peace. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as peace out here, man. It's only truth and lies. That's the only thing that exists out here. But really, the only thing that exists is truth. The lie really doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a lie, really. It's just a truth that exists and somebody telling you something other than the truth that does not exist. You get what I'm saying? So it's really no such thing as a lie. I'm going to repeat that. You only have the truth that exists and somebody telling you something that is said to make you think that something else exists other than the truth. You get what I'm saying? So you the one who falls for the lie. You get what I'm saying? It's not like the lie exists. You fell for something that doesn't exist. That's like tripping over a wire that didn't exist and you fell down. You get what I'm saying? It's like you fell for a lie that didn't exist. That's like falling over a wire and you said, oh, I tripped, but you tripped over something that didn't exist. You get what I'm saying? That's why I focus so much on the truth, man, which is the right understanding to heaven. I see myself like a horse in a race, and I got those blinders. You know them horses, they have those blinders on each side of they face to give them a straight peripheral vision. That's how I am. I'm not looking to my left. I'm not looking to my right. I'm just looking straight forward in this thing. You see? Because this world, man, it's about those who know and those who don't know. You know how they say it's about those who have and those who have not? That's what that means on a spiritual level. It's about those who have spiritual truth and those who have not spiritual truth. Simple as that. You know, and here's another thing too. This kind of skipping around, but I still want to say it. You know, even the technology that we use, we didn't even invent this technology. Computers, man did not invent computers. Man did not invent a calculator. He didn't invent it. You see, we are utilizing things that was given to us by people who have a higher knowledge than us. And the stuff I'm telling you is the highest knowledge that you can go inside of this realm that we live in. But it's people who control this world who suppress this type of truth, right? So let me tell you what I'm talking about. You know a calculator, right? When I was in school, we used to use the Texas Instruments calculator. How many of you are familiar with those Texas Instrument calculators? But anyway, I was in a conversation with, I wouldn't call this person a friend, but we was just having a conversation. I was telling him how calculators were not created by man. And he was arguing, saying, well, how can you say this and this, yes, they were, and this. Then I told him, I said, look, man, how can a man invent something that can process answers faster than his own brain? I said, how can he invent something that can process answers faster than his own speed of thought? And then he was like, well, humans have the capability to do anything. I said, no man invented no calculator. And then I told him this. I said, if the human mind, listen to this, if the human mind can already compute answers at the speed of a calculator, then why would the human need to invent the calculator in the first place? Because anything that you invent to help you was invented because by your own strength, you couldn't do it by yourself. You see? So if the human is the inventor of the calculator, why would he have to invent something that his own brain can already do? You see what I'm saying? So basically, where I'm getting at is the calculator, the speed at which the calculator processes answers, that calculator is nothing but a tiny replica of the brain of an alien. The very alien higher intelligence that gave you that calculator technology, that calculator is just a replica of their brain. Those who run this world, they are on that level of that calculator. They can process things like that calculator. That's how advanced their brain is. So the creator of the calculator is able to do what the calculator can do without the calculator. The human can't do what the calculator do without the calculator. You get what I'm saying? So even the things that we utilize from day to day, it's just a reflection of how much, number one, we've been lied to, and how much this thing is in sophistication. It's very sophisticated. But the only thing you got to do, you don't have to be as sophisticated to know how to build a calculator. You just have to be sophisticated enough to understand that basically everything I'm telling you right now. Once you figure this stuff out, like the 6 laws that governs the human prison bar system, once you figure out the things that's on the left side of the brain channel, you have basically defeated the matrix. You have basically defeated what they call the matrix. Once you figure this stuff out, man, the human prison bars around you, they not gonna ever tell you this stuff. Because sometimes people ask me, well, where did you get this from? Where did you get this information from? As if all information, like they're going to put it in a book. They're not going to put every bit of information in a book. They tell you in symbology. For instance, like I said, this technology that we have, it was handed to us by extraterrestrials. And when I say that, I'm not saying like Martians or anything like that. I'm just saying higher intelligence, higher knowledge that they are privy to. That's how we got this information. But they tell you in little innuendos, because in the universe, there is a law that says, it's a universal law that says, you cannot hide the truth from a soul. Every soul must have the opportunity to be shown the light. That's a part of the clause in our life down here. Everybody will have a chance to see the light. So they can't just hide it from us, but they can show you in different ways. You know how people give off body language? Well, the human prison bar system, it also gives off body language. It's telling you what it's doing. You just have to be smart enough to pick up on it. Having said all that to say this, I was talking about the computer and the calculator, how it was given to us by higher intelligence. They telling you that. For instance, the Samsung Galaxy phone, right? When you turn that phone off, and when you turn it back on, in between it being turned off and on, they have this little green little Martian thing. It pops up on the screen. Now, a lot of people will see that and just laugh at it and be like, oh, that's a cute character they came up with. But I see deeper. The reason why they show you that, man, how many of you are familiar with that? That little Android, man, he's green. And it show up on your cell phone sometimes when you like turning the cell phone off, or if it's on rest mode. How many of you know what I'm speaking about? Basically what they are telling you is that little man represents higher intelligence. That little man represents where we get our information from. The little green man, yes. They telling you that this man is the higher intelligence. This android is an alien. But a lot of people don't pick up on that. You see? But that's the reality of it. We are living in somebody else's project. In fact, we live in the mind of those people. Think about it. Even the clothes you put on today, that's not your idea. That's the fashion designer's idea. You just liked it and picked it out and brought it and put it on. You wearing somebody's idea of fashion. You driving down streets that some architect drew out. You eating food that restaurants put together. You see what I'm saying? Like everything that you do is the idea of somebody else. The car that you drive, that's somebody's idea that you're driving. The laws that you follow, that's the ideas of someone else. Even the language that you speak are borrowed words. Your body itself is the epitome of a prison suit. And what I mean by that is this. If you get locked up and get sent to like an actual prison, right? They're going to hand you a prison uniform. You don't pick out what the uniform is going to be. They're just going to hand it to you. Whether that's a pinstripe suit, whether that's an orange county jail uniform, they just hand it to you. They give you prison issued slippers, prison issued soap, prison issued toothpaste. So think about that and let's relate it to the human body. Your mom and your father, they got together, right? They had you. You didn't choose how your body would look. You just ended up in a body which was nothing but a duplicate of both of your parents. And your soul ended up in the prison uniform that they gave you, the physical body that you exist in. On top of that, you are under a force called gravity. You can look up at the sky, which is the equivalent of looking out of a prison window. You can't just jump up out of the earth and never land. If you jump up, you're going to come back down. So everything like how it is in prison, it matches how we live. We just don't see it like that. But I just described it to you so you can understand. Now that you see it how it really is, then now you shouldn't have no reason to say I don't live in a prison. You do live in a prison. You trapped, you limited. Any existence that has limitations to it is a prison. If you look up the definition of a prison, any place that has limitations, you are limited in your body. You was handed a body that you didn't ask for, just like a prison uniform. You had no say-so in how this body looked. That's the epitome of being in prison. Now, the mind doesn't have to be in prison. The mind can be free. Nobody can imprison the mind. You see what I'm saying? So basically, this is the window and escape. The things I'm telling you right now. This is as high as it goes in this world. It don't get no higher than this left side of the brain information. This is the total truth. And we're going to keep building upon this truth. Because one thing about truth, it's eternal. We never run out of lessons. It's always going to be more insights. Like the other day, right? I was at the light. But they had a thunderstorm, right? And guess what? The traffic lights had went out. So I was at the intersection and everybody was like fumbling and not even fumbling and trying to figure out what to do and blowing horns and all of that. And the spirit told me, it said, the reason why these people are acting like this, since these lights are out, is because for so long, they were dependent upon these artificial traffic lights to guide them. So when the artificial traffic lights went out, they felt crippled. Like I was telling you earlier about money cripples people from their natural way, which should be sharing resources and trusting each other's word and sharing and borrowing from each other. You see what I'm saying? And living off the abundance of the planet. Okay. Now, because these traffic lights went out, everybody was just crippled. Nobody knew anything about patience. Nobody knew anything about waiting for the next. You see, nobody is used to exercising the fruits of the spirit. So when the traffic lights go out, it's just disorderly. We're not used to walking like that. So you may have one person that practices patience, but the next person behind that person blowing the horn, bam, bam, hurry up, I gotta be at work. Let me drink some water. You see what I'm saying? So that was just showing me like, wow, when these traffic lights go out, it's chaos. It's chaos. What was I just telling y'all? You living in somebody else's idea. So whenever they want to switch the lights and cut off all the power, it's gonna be total chaos. It's gonna be total chaos because people have been living artificially for so long. So that when the day comes that they have to turn the lights out on this thing, it's gonna be all she wrote. Nobody would know what to do. So what does that tell you? We are living inside of a computer. Because once you turn the lights out, people don't know what to do. They're controlled by the computer. They're controlled by the traffic lights. Everything that we exist, that makes us exist, that we believe in, it's all computer generated, and it's all within the knowledge of 1% of the people. Only 1%, not even 1% of the people work for the electric grid company who can just switch the lights out. And because they have the knowledge of how to turn the lights back on, they can control it. Don't nobody else know how to do it. Nobody else could just walk up in the electric power plant and cut the lights back on. You see how they got everybody dependent? And what is that? We call that what? In the 6 laws that governs the human prison bar system, we call that the law of dependency. That's one of the 6 laws that governs the human prison bar system. You see? So it's just more shit and more shit. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. It's like, at this point, when you got this type of knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and now that you know that nobody cares for anybody, everybody is just living for their own selfish desires, man. People just living. You see that lady on that advertisement? People just living to do that. Drink a Coca-Cola and get their nut off somewhat. And get their nut off, man. People just living for the next orgasm. Let's just be real. Let's just stop playing games. This whole life, man, revolves around a nut. I think I've said that before in a video. I know I have. But this whole life revolves around a nut. Everything we do is to distract us from the fact that it's all about sex at the end of the day. Everything we do, remember I said that woman makes everything serious? Because she does. Once you get a woman pregnant, you got to take care of her and the kid. You got to get a job. Having to get a job and all of that type of stuff, it starts from having children. Now you got to get a job. Now from children, you create a country, state. You create a population. Now you got to have a military. Now you got to defend the woman and the child. You see, it's all centered around sex. Now, since I got to feed, since I got all these mouths to feed, now I got to fight over resources. You see how it keeps building and building? Now I got to take your resources and give it to my people. Now I got to create a system of racism, which says that my people are better than your people, so that my people will look at your people bad and have a reason to hate you, so we can dominate you and create a system based upon stereotypes that we built. You know, racism can go either way. So what I'm saying is, it all started from what? Sex. It all started from sex. So let's stop playing games and acting like this thing is bigger than what it is, or anything other than what it is. It's all about sex, and that's what it is. You see? And we as people, We don't even man, something just slipped my mind again. I just had a bomb thought I was about to say. Something I was gonna say. It might come back to me. But we as people, man, we don't understand like how what I was gonna say is, you see, Jesus Christ. Oh gosh, that gotta come back to me. Something I was about to say. Hopefully it'll come back. But we as people, man, we don't understand how. What was I about to say? Y'all give me a minute. Because I gotta say this. It was something very important that would really bring this home, man. And when I do live streams, I don't do scripts. You know what I'm saying? I don't script nothing. I don't script nothing. Maybe it'll come back to me, but we give me a second. Because I gotta say this. Y'all getting this raw, uncut. So give me a second. What was I about to say? I don't know, man. My mind just went blank, man. I'm out in public and cars riding around, I'm looking at my surroundings and stuff. But yeah, man, it's like, Jesus, man, what was I about to say? It was so important. We man, this haven't never happened to me like this. Right at a grand point I was about to make. Somebody catch me up on what I was saying. What was I saying? Let me look at the comments. I got to get back on what I was saying. It was some dude who had walked by, and when I looked at him, I kind of like, cause I'm looking at people, man. I'm in a kind of a shady area right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. What was the last thing I had said? All right, I said something about like women. I said let's okay, I remember what I was saying now. Okay, this life, man, it's people just need to stop denying the fact what it's all about. It's about sex and thank you, Spirit. Now it came back to me. Now it came back to me. The other part to what I was saying is this. Life in itself is just a distraction from the point that you are going to die. That's what I was about to say. Everything we do is a distraction to get your mind off of the fact that you are going to die. And I think about this every day. Like everything we do, see, anything that you're doing other than having sex is not about procreation. See, everything is about procreation and bringing a new soul into this world. So everything that we do outside of that is just time filler things. You get what I'm saying? Because a relationship itself with a woman, it don't mean anything if nobody is benefiting from it. The human prison bar system, at the end of the day, it has to benefit from the sexual relationship between a man and a woman. So if a man and a woman come together and they not having kids, that relationship don't mean anything for society because it's not bringing another soul into this human prison bar system. You see what I'm saying? So that means everything other than that is just time filler stuff. When you are an ignorant person, but for people like us, Time to ourselves is like time to reflect, time to meditate, time to figure out the truth. I'm talking about for those people, the human prison bars. Everything that they do other than having sex and creating children is just a world of moving around and working and doing things that's really not necessary, but is only necessary because they say it's necessary. Like everything that we call necessary is only necessary because a few 1% who runs the world says it's necessary. You get what I'm saying? I hope I'm explaining it good. Like if it was just 100 people who think like us, then we wouldn't be doing the type of things that this world deems as necessary. But because we are the minority and they are the majority, they make us have to do things that we would say is unnecessary. But because they deem it necessary and it's more of them than us, then it becomes necessary, which is the law of abundance. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that we do from day to day, we're not doing it because we want to do it. We do it because they deem it necessary. Like for instance, like taking a girl out on a date is not necessary for a man. But the system programming within the female and all of the reasons that make her say that you got to date me before you can sleep with me and all of this type of stuff, all of that societal pressure and programming that makes her say that you have to take her out on a date and impress her and all of this to have sex with her. The man doesn't want to do that, but he feels like in order to sleep with her, I have to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like if the ordinary man could have it his way, he would eliminate that. No man wants to go through a dating ritual just to sleep with the female. No different than a female. She don't want to have to date a Coca-Cola like that woman on that thing. She don't want to have to date a Coca-Cola before she can just pop it open and drink it. You see what I'm saying? So they put us through all of this extra strenuous stuff. And again, even that example I'm using, that shows you how men have more pressure in this world than females. Because one thing a woman don't have to worry about, you see, every man has an innate nature, which is he has to have food and he has a sex drive. We built with a sex drive. But that woman, she has a sex drive and she has to eat food as well. But when it comes to sex, she don't have no pressure in getting sex. What does that tell you? That means she is the one used to hire and fire. You get what I'm saying? She hires you for the sex job and she can fire you for the sex job. So really that means she is like the security agent at the airport, checking the people at the metal detector, determining if it's safe to let you in or not. So she's saying that it's okay for you to sleep with her. It's her saying it's okay for you to get me pregnant and let her soul in. And then her rejecting you is saying that you don't got what it takes, so you can't sleep with me. So she hires and fires. You get what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of time men are not concentrated in life. They're not concentrating because I used to wonder that too, man. When I was in high school, and you know, like when you in college and you in the computer room and you just see the girls at the computer desk, they don't have no, it's like nothing distracts them. It's not like they looking at the men walking by. It be the men doing that. The reason why is because we not the ones who hire and fire. They the ones who do the choosing and rejecting. They do the choosing and the rejecting. So when you see a woman, they can be on their grind. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I gotta hold up. Y'all, time out. Look, don't let me forget that last point I made. because I got to get my clothes out the dryer now. Do not, I think they're closing up. Don't let me forget that last point. Y'all know what happened a few minutes ago. Don't let me forget that last point. Thank you. Oh, they closed too. Don't let me forget that last point. Don't let me lose that last point. Hold up, y'all. I'm about to put this phone down for a second. I'm still here. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. All right, I'm back. I'm about to go back to the car. This is LSOTB. Hit that likes button. Excuse me. Thank you. This is LSOTB. Hit that likes button. Let me know what y'all think. Boy, I can't stand stupid people, man. You know what? I can't stand them. I don't care, because I stand them because they they let me know what time it is. Shit. I learn from them, man. You know how they say you can learn a lot from a crash test dummy? All right. What was I saying? Okay. My last point, I was saying that now when you see these women, they be focused, man. They don't have no worries, man. Like, they don't have nothing to worry about. I used to always think that when I was in college, right? You'll see the women like in the computer room and they be having like short dresses on and stuff. They not looking around and every 5 seconds turning their head. But in a man, we design, especially when we young, man, we be fertile, you be horny. Every girl you look at, you be just ready to fuck and everything. But women, because sex is so easy for them to get, they already got a man locked down. And if they want another man, they can go get another man. It's nothing for them to have sex. So they don't have that type of urge inside of them where it's so great that it's getting in between them doing their assignment and their homework, because they don't have the problem of men flaking on them. Like, you know how women flake on you and they play mind games and you got to wait around for them to text, and they don't have those problems because at any moment they can say, I want to have sex, come over here tonight, I want to have sex. They can end all of that frustration that men go through just by saying the magic word, let's have sex, let's do it right now. So that in itself, it just lets you know that women are just another aspect of the human prison bar system as it relates to causing people to stress. Because another thing that they want to do is make us feel pressure. They like negative energy. So the human prison bar system is like a factory that manufactures negative energy. This thing thrives off of negative energy. If heaven thrives off of positive energy, then the human prison bar system is the opposite of heaven. So it thrives off of negative energy, stress, and things like that. You see what I'm saying? Women got it so easy and simple. That's why they can do their homework and work 3 and 4 jobs and go to school and just be in the library all day, because they can at any moment, see, in their mind, they not constantly thinking about, oh, when this girl gonna text me back Dang, I hope I have a date for this weekend. Dang, I'm trying to get laid tonight. Dang, dang. They not thinking all of that in their mind. Because it's no thing to them. You know what I'm saying? It's no thing to them to have sex. They don't have nothing that can get them unfocused. Dick don't get females unfocused. But men, pussy can get them unfocused. Pussy can make them sell out their soul. Because women, they work together and make it hard on men. Because if sex was just unlimited for men and he can get it anytime, then they couldn't use sex as a way to make a man sell out his soul. They couldn't use sex as a way for a man to compromise how he believes so he can fit into the world system, so he can get more money and more females. Because to be accepted in this HPB realm, let's just be honest, if females don't accept you as a man, like an in-crowd person or something, then guess what? All the other men will turn their back on you. And females, because they operate in that group mentality, if one female out of a group of 5, if one of those females got something negative to say about you, the other 4 that's hanging with her, they not gonna give you no chance neither. And the dudes that they give a chance to are gonna be the ignorant dudes. The dudes who don't know about this type of information we know. Because this type of information, once a female detects that you have something in you of a higher energy, they will reject you. They don't have to know what the information is that you have. They can just see it's something different. Almost like when you going through the airport and they can scan your bags and they see the shape of a gun, but they don't really know it's a gun, but they know you got something in there that's shaped like a gun. And then they'll go into the bag and open it up and see what it is that you have. So basically, that's what I'm saying about women. They don't have to know that you know this type of information. They can just feel that you're something different. And what they feel is that this person is something different that's anti-HPB system. That's what they feel. They feel that this person is, because I get it from females too. I get the females who I end up sleeping with and stuff. I have to manipulate them, outsmart them. I say things. And very rarely do I come across women that I can just be myself with. Over 90-something% of the time, I have to manipulate and say things that will put up a smoke screen. Basically, how they wear makeup, I have to put on makeup. I've done that before. And you might say, why would you do that? See, the thing is, we do that in almost every area of life. If you're a spiritual person, let's just be real. Not just with females. I do it on jobs. Even when I'm around people on jobs, I have to be Clark Kent, basically. I'm Superman spiritually, but around them, I have to be Clark Kent. I can't let them know what I know. You get what I'm saying? Because it would cause too much interference and static in the room. You will be outnumbered. So there's no need to voice your opinion around these people. What does our opinion mean to them? They don't care. Because our opinion, it doesn't hire and fire. Our opinion will get you fired from a job. The type of lifestyle that they have will get you a job. If you go to the average workplace and if you tell them that you pro-gay, you pro-LGBTQ, you pro-transgender, you pro-bestiality, if you said all of that type of stuff that's totally unnatural, the more the system and the job and everybody at that job, the more they would like you. They will stand up come from behind their cubicles and give you a standing ovation. But if you give off an iota of any difference, they will reject you. Am I telling the truth or what? Y'all know I'm telling the truth. They will reject you. So this is why I say you have to be wise as a serpent. In nature, you'll see snakes, they camouflaged. You can learn from your enemy as well now. Even the enemy camouflages themselves. In nature, it's a lot of camouflage in nature. A spider web, right? A spider web, it doesn't tell you that it exists. It doesn't say, I exist, I'm a spider web. Like for all these people, and thank you, Spirit. Like for all these people be like, well, left side of the brain, what book did you get that out of? Okay. When the fly told the other fly that a thing called a spider web exists, the other fly didn't believe the other fly because he didn't see it. He didn't see the spider web. He didn't become a believer till he got caught up in the spider web. All the while he was telling the other fly that was telling him, don't fly between those two trees over there. Oh, it ain't nothing over there. What book did you get that out of? I haven't never seen that. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, that this thing exists. They're not going to tell you that it exists. The spider web is never going to alert that it exists. Don't be the fly that didn't listen to the other fly when he told him that the spider web exists and he ended up trapped in the spider web. It's some things in nature, and that's just using the law of exceedings. The spider web is a prime example. It don't let you know that it exists. Quicksand. You know quicksand? Quicksand does not tell you, I'm a puddle of quicksand right here. You just walk into it unannounced and you end up sinking. These things don't tell you this stuff, man. You think the human prison bar system is going to tell you that they exist? No. They ain't going to tell you. I'm going to tell y'all something else too. You know why they got so much technology? I'm going to tell you why. And this is the first time you ever heard this. You're not going to hear this nowhere else. This is why they have technology. The countries that have the most technology, the reason that is because they did more demonic acts. They did more human sacrificing. They did more selling their souls to the devil. So the countries that have the most technology is because they did a trade-off deal. Demons give the HPB system the technology that they use. And the more evil demonic acts that a country does, the more technology they give them. The more souls they give the demons, the more the demons give those nations technology. They give them weapons. That's the trade-off deal. They give them weapons. They give them high-speed internet. And they make deals with the devil. And the devil gives them technology. He gives them technology. That's the secret to it. And you've never heard that before. Don't ask me what book I got that from, but that's what it is. It's nothing but a trade-off deal. Technology. Okay, this thing is turned into another subject matter. Maybe I'm going to save that for a video that I do tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that for a video that I do tomorrow. Or do y'all want me to go into it right now? If you want me to go into it right now, put a 1 in the comment section. If you want me to do a video on it tomorrow, put Put a 2 in the comment section. Let me see what y'all think. I see 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right. The consensus is saying by Jaguar vote, they want to hear it now. Okay. Now, technology is witchcraft. Whether you know this or not, technology is witchcraft. Now, if no one explained to you how a telephone worked, let's just say you was in the year 1600 and somebody just brought you a telephone and somebody was talking on the other end, you would be like, wow, what type of magic spell did you do to end up with this? Because it's out of the realm of human capacity. It's out of the realm of human capacity. If somebody showed a Roman, an ancient Roman, a television set, that would blow their mind. They would probably start bowing down and worshiping the TV because it's outside of the realms of human creativity. I don't care what no one say. We don't think that advanced to be making TVs and speakers and calculators. We're just not that advanced. You see, these innovations are nothing but the creations of demons who exchanged technology for human souls. And a television is nothing but like a crystal ball. A television is a time machine. People be like, what is a time machine? A TV is a time machine. You can record something that took place last week and play it this week. You can't go into the TV and change what occurred because you recorded it, but you can pull it back up. So when you think about technology and TVs, when you turn a TV on, what you basically did was you went into the past. The frequency comes through the television dial. But when you turn the TV off, the images, it goes back into that invisible realm. Just like radio signals, they exist in an invisible realm, but the radio device is like a portal. It's like technology is like a portal to the past. When you turn on a radio and you play music, excuse me, throat is dry. When you turn on a radio and you play music that was recorded in 1970, you turning on the past and you are transporting it through your radio device. You opening up a gateway of the past, things that was already done. You going into the past, bringing it to the present. It was recorded. So basically, you going into basically the mind of energy. You going into the brain waves of the eternal. Think about it. It's no different. Cutting on the TV and seeing an image on your television screen is no different than you closing your eyes and pulling up an image of something you did last week or reminiscing about a date you went on. That's what it is. You going into the mind of that darkness that you see when you look up at night. You just using that instrument, that technology device, as a gateway to pull the information and bring it up into real time to where you can see it or listen to it. So basically, when you turn your television off, you send the past back into the unknown. You send it back into its latent potential. It's at rest. It's lying dormant until you turn it on. When you turn it on, you bring it back to life. It's like you are reincarnating something that took place in the past. You resurrecting the dead. You bringing it back to life. You animating images and sound waves that were recorded in 1970. You get what I'm saying? And also, behind the television screen, right? This is how the spirit realm works. The same way you can control a TV set with a remote control, but you can't touch the images on the inside of the screen. That's how the spirit realm operates. They looking at us right now, but we can't see them looking at us. They controlling the minds of people, but you don't see the entities that's controlling the people in the HPB realm around you. You don't see what's on the inside of their mind. You don't see the entities that's controlling them, but they exist parallel to this world that we live in. On frequency wavelengths. You have to be able to tap into it. Just like when you turn your television dial. When you turn your TV dial to the channel over, that's like going into a parallel universe that exists right next door to the next channel. So the television is just a demonstration of the spirit realm. Because again, using the law of exceedings, nothing that takes place in the natural realm exceeds what takes place in the spiritual realm. So that's the technology of it. And how it operates in the spirit realm, it's the same way. The same way you use that technology and you turn radio dials and frequencies like that, that's how it is in the spirit realm. It lives next door to the next channel. So right beside you right now, there is another realm right beside you right now. But this is the thing. They can see you, but you can't see them. They can't touch you because they are electric. They on a higher frequency. The same way you can't touch a electric wire with your bare hands because you will get electrocuted. Well, it's just like that for them. If they come over into this realm, it will be like sticking a key, a wet key, in a outlet. They will get electrocuted. So they have to operate with gloves on so they can touch the raw bare wire. So they need to operate through bodies in this realm. You understand what I'm saying? So they need a body. The body is just a glove to cover up and protect them, because if they come over into this realm without any protection, it will be like the equivalent of you touching a bare wire without no rubber around it. You will get electrocuted. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they need the body of the human to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? To protect them from this energy that we live in. They just can't enter like just any old way. Just like when a comet or a meteor come into this world without any protection, guess what? It burns up in the upper atmosphere. It burns up because that's how the universe operates. Whenever something passes from one realm to the next, it's destroyed. It burns up. Just like when you touch electricity, you get shocked because that's another realm. You touching another realm and you're not protected from it. So you shocked by the energy. It's just too much for you to take. You got to have on a special suit or special covering like rubber gloves or something to be able to touch a raw wire. You get what I'm saying? You say why? Tanisha Duncan, you said why? Are you asking me why about what I just said? Or are you commenting to somebody that's in the live feed? Or are you talking to me? You mean why do they need covering? Why can't the spirits just come into this realm like this? Is that what you're saying? Because it's just like, to answer your question, it's just like an astronaut. He can't just go out into outer space and breathe because he's not created to be, yeah, like it's like being like a fish out of water. They not made for this environment. It's a low density environment for them. They can't enter this environment without a suit. Just like we can't enter into outer space without a suit. We can't survive in their world, and they can't survive in our world. You know what I'm saying? Spirits, they pass through. Sometimes you might see I've seen a spirit before, but it's only momentarily because they just pass through real fast. They can't exist. They can't exist in this world. It's hard to explain it, but they can't exist in this world without a body. They need bodies to operate in. I gotta put my charger back in now. They need bodies to operate in because they need bodies to reduce their energy. Their energy amount is just too much. They need a body to come into this world. You get what I'm saying? They need to reduce their energy. It's too much. Just like I was saying, you touch a wire, you can't take that voltage like that. And likewise, they just can't come into our realm because it's just too much. It'd be too much energy. Too much energy around them. Any questions? I think I've seen a question in the. But yeah, just know that they see you. They see you at all times. Just like you can see people on the TV, they can't see you. They see you at all times. And sometimes, like if you talking to somebody on a webcam, right? A webcam is really a genie. It's really a genie on your end and a genie on the other end that open up the spiritual gateway for them to see you on your end and for you to see them on their end. You may think it's just a webcam, but that webcam, it actually tapped into the portal. It's like it transported their image to you. It's a genie. It's demonic technology. That's what I'm saying. Anybody got any questions? Look, they even watch your thoughts, man. They even watch what you think. That's why you got to watch what you're thinking around people. Because when you're thinking certain things, it gives off a aura around you. Animals can pick up on your thinking. I'm gonna give you an example. Where I live at, right? It was this stray dog, right? and he was coming into the apartments entrance. So I was leaving out of the apartments, and I was like, who pit bull is this? Because you can exit out of the apartment one way, and then it has the entrance and the exit. So he was coming through the entrance. I was leaving out of the exit, and I seen him. He was in front of my car, and I was looking at him. So I started thinking like, I'm about to hit this stray pit bull because it be children out here and stuff. I wasn't going to actually do it, but I was thinking that. Do you know, as soon as I had thought, that dog, he turned around and ran. It was like he could tell that danger was about to approach. He ran. He looked at me. I looked at him, and I was in my car. And then all of a sudden, he scrambled and just turned around and ran. Like he picked up on what was about to go on. And there was this girl in the car with me. I was like, you see that? You see that? But of course, they stupid, and she didn't know what I was talking about. So I was like, whatever. I'll just wait to tell the Jaguars or whatever. But it was like one of them, like, ordinary people. So she didn't understand. But anyway, that just let me know that these animals and stuff, man, they can even read energies and stuff. And so yeah. So if an animal can read energies, these people in these atmospheres where you go into, like your job, whether it's the laundromat, like where I'm at right now, they close now. Because I've been here for a minute now. Going on 2 hours now. They can tell, man, that you're not like them. They can tell. An alarm goes off inside of them. We got a united soul in the building. That's what the HPBs are saying. A person with a soul is in here. A person with a soul is in here. And all of them are zeroed in on you. Make no mistakes about it. They can tell. They be zeroed in on you. They know at all times what's going on, man. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. These women are very smart. Women know when you about to hit on them. They already know it. And they have already decided in their mind if they're going to reject you or not. They already know when a man is about to hit on them. They got an extra sense. They know when a man is checking them out. Women can pick up things, man. I'm telling you, they know, because they are the masters of the sexual thing. They the masters of that sexuality thing, because they the ones, again, who hire and fire. Women think about sex 10 times more than men. And why I say that is because they were created to have sex. They was created to have babies. They constantly thinking about. That's why when they get around men, they be acting funny and stuff. You try to say something to them, and when they come around, they don't really want to speak to men because they think it's going to initiate some type of sexual invitation to allow a man to ask them for their phone number or something. So that lets you know that a female is constantly on guard about sex. Every time she's out in public, she's constantly walking around on eggshells because she knows that somebody is looking at her for sex. When she be dressed in little tight clothes and got her cleavage out, she knows that people are looking at her for sex. She understands this. So don't let them fool you and make you think that, oh, men are the only one who think about this. No. Women think about it more than we do. It's just that they think about it in a more ready to hire or reject kind of way. We think about it in a way of, as men, we think about sex as a way of accept and hope I don't get rejected. She's on the other end thinking, I'm about to hire this one, but reject this one. When men are on the other end thinking, I hope I don't get rejected. See, the woman, she sits at the top of the food chain when it comes to sex. She's at the top of the food chain. So she's not worried about it because she controls it. Just like any woman in this live feed right now, they can get sex at any moment. A man, he gonna have to put in work. And while he's putting in work trying to get sex, he's taking attention off of other important things in life. Like I was saying, women don't take their attention off of important things of life because of sex, because they can get it anytime. You get what I'm saying? True that. Yeah, yes. Yes, I'm happy you brought that up. It's like you can see the script and predict the future while inebriated. I don't know what you mean by that part, but part of what you said brings up something in my mind that I wanted to speak about anyway. Do you know, when I be out and about, I'm at the point now where I live in the know. And what I mean by that is I see things before it even takes place. I see stuff before it even takes place. Because I'm a master at body language. And I don't mean just body language of a person moving a head a certain way. I mean the body language of life itself. My environment. It's like I live inside of a fortune cookie or some type of prophecy or something, because I see events before they even take place. I can see the movement of people and I can tell what's about to happen. Like it's wow. It's mind blowing. If you would have to be me to understand what I'm saying. But whatever be taking place in my life, I already know what's about to happen. And even when I do end up in sticky situations with people, it's not because I didn't know. It's because I went against what I already knew would happen if I engaged in conversation or dealership with this person. And that's something that the spirit gives you when you start accepting the truth, to protect you from certain situations and to prevent you from certain harms. And that's what I call the spiritual GPS system. You see what I'm saying? That's what keeps me aware of my surroundings and stuff. That foreknowledge, I call it foreknowledge, that spiritual foreknowledge. You see? And I'm gonna leave y'all with one more example. You remember how I was saying everything was about sex? You ever been to the grocery store? Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, let me show you. I'm gonna take a card out, right? I ain't gonna show the numbers or nothing. All right. You know that microchip that be on the card? You know that microchip that be on the card? You know when you go into a store and you have to insert the microchip into the machine, into the microchip reader? I don't know the exact name for it. But you know what? Look what my hand is doing. It's called, that's actually computer fucking that be taking place. When you be putting that card up in that machine that reads your microchip, it's prostitution that's taking place. You are fucking the microchip reader when you slide it in. And guess what? You have to pay to fuck. You get what I'm saying? You have to pay. You got to have money. You slide your card up into the microchip reader, the card reader. You pay for what you're going to get. But it's like paying a prostitute. You go to the store. You pay to fuck. You pay to play. You pay to eat. You paying to fuck. You see what I'm saying? Like, you go in there and you have to fuck the card reader with your card. The card represents like a dick. It goes up into the card reader and then they let you purchase whatever. The store is the slut. You the dick putting the card up in the card reader machine. The store is like the whore, and you buy the sex from her, which is food, which is a pleasure. You see, sex is a bodily pleasure. Food is also a bodily pleasure, and it's a means of survival. Just like sex is a pleasure and it's a means of survival for humanity. So that's the insight I got out of that. Every time you go to the store next time, when you stick in that card in that card reader, you paying the prostitute. You paying the prostitute, and she give you the goods, but you gotta pay to get anything out of her. She don't let you fuck for free. You see what I'm saying? She don't let you fuck for free. She don't let you leave out of that store for free. She don't let you come in there and fuck for free. You gotta fuck and pay while you fucking. You see? Because if you ain't got no money on your card, it's like you ain't busting no nut, so she ain't gonna give you nothing. If your card is empty when you stick it up in that card machine, guess what? She ain't gonna give you nothing. She not gonna give you no goods until you pay her something. So when you stick that card in there, you nut inside of her. You nut in that computer when it takes those digital zeros out of your bank account. It transfers those zeros into that bank account. And then they'll let you get something out of the store. You gotta pay to eat. You gotta pay to fuck. The stores are even set up like that. So that's just a spiritual metaphor that you can see when you go shopping, But yeah, man. Look, y'all. This was a unannounced live stream, impromptu, unrehearsed. Just threw this together. I was like, man, it just hit me all of a sudden. Do a live stream. The spirit put it in me to do a live stream. And that's what Left Side of the Brain did. So I'm going to leave this up. Y'all can share it. Rewind it. Look at it if you came in late. Digest the information. Until we do this again, hope you enjoyed it. This is Left Side of the Brain, signing out.